Endurance sport has never seen anything like this. Teams of two racing every hour of every day for 3 months, non-stop around the world. The Barcelona World Race will head into the most dangerous and wild oceans on the planet, and will test sailing machines and human relationships to breaking point. The 18 sailors from 7 nations taking on this round-the-world challenge will be enduring 3 months of extreme physical and mental exhaustion in their battle to win. The key to success or failure will come down to just 2 people and how well they manage to sail and survive together. Dame Ellen MacArthur has sailed offshore both single-handed and double-handed and knows the pitfalls of both.
I think the fact the race is two-handed makes it quite special. And when you think about the dynamics of 2 people being on their own or together for 3 months, it's a huge amount of time. And it's not as if they're on holiday for 3 months. They're under immense pressure, going through actually very dangerous conditions, making very hard decisions. The dynamics between 2 people and how they take the knocks and pull together in the difficult times will be the key to the race.
The city of Barcelona is the start point of this ocean marathon, and some of the top skippers in the world are here to stamp their mark on this inaugural race. The international press are here in force and are keen to ask some difficult questions.
You've not had a great deal of success in some of the circumnavigations the last few. What's the pressure like to get around this time? Is it?
It's obviously very important to finish.
British sailor Alex Thompson has some unfinished business with the Southern Ocean. In 2004, during the single-handed Vendée Globe, he hauled his boat and had to retire from the race.
No, I don't think about it very much anymore. I've certainly put the whole experience behind me.
In 2006, Alex had problems again in the Southern Ocean. He had to abandon his boat and was rescued by fellow Brit Mike Golding.
Did it take a bit of getting over?
It's just distressing to lose a boat and nearly die, you know.
High-profile sponsor and a growing reputation, the pressure is really on.
I'm sure if this race was a single-handed race, I think for my head it would be pretty hard. And I'll be pretty happy to go on deck and to see his smiling face there.
Alex has chosen Australian Andrew Cape, a professional navigator, as his partner for the race.
Alex is a very aggressive sailor and a very good sailor. I mean, you might have some people talking, he sometimes pushes the boats too hard, but I think that's a function of the boats he's had previously.
You've got this reputation for pushing boats hard and...
It's better than being slow, isn't it?
We're both similar sorts of personalities. I don't see any clash there, but you put anyone in a room for 90 days, something's got to be said. But I think that'll be the same for every team in the race. You can imagine locking yourself in a room with your wife for that long. Nah, that'll be hard.
How many pairs of knickers do you think you need for 84 days?
2? 2 will do.
He's a man of few words at times because, you know, he will only say something when he really has something to say. But he's just a solid, reliable, level-headed. You know, he never panics about things.
In terms of media commitments, yeah, I'm not the golden boy there, so I just concentrate on my bit and the strategy, and let Alex get on with it.
Andrew Cape has sailed around the world 3 times, but on Estrella Dam, American Jonathan McKee has collected 2 Olympic medals, but never lapped the planet. This shrewd analytical tactician is heading into virgin territory.
Going away for such a long time, I've never done it before, so yeah, I'm a little bit nervous about that. I don't know how I'm going to feel after 2 months. I see. I've sort of mentally come to grips with that, and we'll see how it goes.
Ahead, around 90 days living in a cabin no bigger than a small bathroom. Sleep will be minimal, but when exhausted, difficult decisions will have to be made. And getting on with Spanish skipper Guillermo Altadell, who has a reputation for being fiery and impulsive, will be vital.
The character of Jonathan is just the opposite thing of me, so he's very quiet, he's very patient. I'm just the opposite. Sometimes I do the things with not making any reflection, just because the instinct.
Guillermo does perhaps have a reputation for being the so-called fiery Spaniard or whatever. You know, I haven't experienced that on the boat itself that much. On shore, he sometimes gets a bit worked up, which, you know, usually for good reason.
Funding a campaign in the IMOCA 60 class is a multi-million euro business. So, like any top-flight sport, finding and keeping a sponsor is an essential part of the game. On Delta d'Or, Jeremy Bayou and Sydney Gavinier from France don't know each other that well. But theirs is a partnership that suits everyone, including their backer.
Jeremy's character reflects what I would call the Delta d'Or image.
Jeremy is France's young sailing prodigy, and for 5 years now he's had the same sponsor. And for Jeremy and Sydney Gavinier, his co-skipper, a few PR lunches are all part of the game.
I never sailed around the world, so I proposed that to my sponsor, to Delta d'Or.
Reserved ashore, at sea, his passion for success can become all-consuming.
Jeremy is typical he's from Brittany in France. Most of the sailors in France are coming from Brittany. They don't speak much most of the time. He doesn't.
Yes, I have maybe a strange character. I think I'm quite different when I'm sailing and when I am living on Earth.
Both of us are good men, even if we are not friends before the beginning. Delta d'Or is his boat, he's the skipper, so really I'm not worried about the relationship between Jeremy and myself.
While the bond between the two skippers may be facing its first test, the relationship between Sydney and his family, daughters Shard and Tara June, and wife Caroline, has faced the challenge of separation many times before. But this time, it feels different.
For the first time since we married together, I'm really stressed about this race. I'm not so stressed about the time that it's going to be away, but I'm really stressed about that there are going to be only two on the boat. And it's the first time I don't feel really, you know, okay about this race.
The last time Sydney raced around the world, it was in a team of 10. Now heading into the unknown, in a team of 2. Despite the isolation, he'll try to resist contact with the ones he loves.
Most of the time we do not call home, or maybe on a once a week maximum, but this time the phone I can just pick it up and join my family if I feel like it. My plan is not to exaggerate that, because otherwise you're not on board anymore and you are waiting for to talk to your wife or your children. What I like is to receive some like normal news, from very basic news from home, like today I've been with the girls at school and everything went well, or we've bought a new chair for the house. That's something very nice for us to remind us that there's a world somewhere.
Before the start, the shore crews are busy with their last-minute preparations. The boats have to be self-contained for the whole trip, so they're loaded with spares and freeze-dried food to last for 3 months. The skippers have a final taste of luxury at the Mayor of Barcelona's official reception, and thousands crowd the race dockside to watch a spectacular opening ceremony before the fleet departs. Start day dawns as the reality of 25,000 miles and 3 months at sea hits home. Drama as the fleet powers its way out of Barcelona on its non-stop journey around the planet. And nerves and relationships are tested as mistakes are made. There are just hours to go before 9 two-person teams set sail to race non-stop around the world. The Barcelona World Race skippers are hardened professionals, but for them and those they're about to leave behind, this will be an emotional day. No other skipper in this race has been round the world more times than Estrella Damm's Guillermo Altadil. But for the father of 4, it doesn't get any easier to leave his hometown of Barcelona and his family.
I started to leave the little one. He's only 12 months and he don't speak, he don't walk, but by the time I come back, it's going to be walking and speaking. So I'm going to lose some important months from him.
In another part of the city, Britain's Alex Thompson shares a last quiet moment with girlfriend Kate. 1 year before, he was fighting to survive in the Southern Ocean. Now he's preparing to return to the sea that so nearly claimed his life. Lives will be on the line. The strength of the relationship in each team will play a major part in what brings back these crews to their loved ones in 3 months' time. Before then, 25,000 miles of racing.
The sooner you start, the sooner you finish, so bring it on.
Yeah, you get on. Take the gloves and stuff. Yeah. Another big day, bit of a thing in my throat, but not as much as previously. I don't think I'll feel bad until he gets about a month's time when he's down in those latitudes again where he's had the problems before. So it's a month's time I'll start getting worried.
It is very emotional. I mean, the last round of the World Race, in fact all the round of the World Races that Alex has done, by the time we get out to the start line we're all in tears. I mean, it is just very emotional. And when you get off the boat and leave them, and you know that certainly some of them might not come back, that's, you know, pretty gutsy stuff.
I'm happy this day has finally come because we transitioned from the preparation to the racing. The real adventure is about to start, so.
For now, they can savour the last precious moments with their families before they climb on board the 60-foot boat that will be their home, their life and their world for the next 90 days. For Delta Door's Sydney Gavinier, saying goodbye is almost too much. "18 of the world's best professional sailors are about to leave Barcelona and begin a 25,000-mile epic race, non-stop across the planet's most challenging and hostile oceans. There are just seconds to the start. The skipper's race instincts take over. Not 1 inch is given to their rivals. As a start gun is fired, French team PRB does not head for open water but takes a huge gamble. Skipper Vincent Rieu screams. Hundreds of spectator boats scramble to keep out of the way. A collision here could be catastrophic. It's an astonishing risk to take at the start of such a long race. But PRB's plan pays off. The French team lead away from Barcelona. Skipper Vincent Rieu, the man doing the shouting, one of the best solo skippers in the world.
Vincent is quiet on the land, but when it's on the water, he's not so quiet. Vincent is not a close friend, but we have a lot of respect to each other, and we have never fight or something like that. We can speak, we can explain if we have a problem.
For Britain's Alex Thompson, rounding in second place on board Hugo Boss, it's his third attempt to sail short-handed around the world.
I have had structural problems before. Maybe we're going to have them again. You know, we're in the Formula One end of sailing, and we're taking the boats, you know, to these fairly extreme conditions, and things do happen.
His co-skipper is Andrew Cape, the professional navigator.
I do it to race, and you race to win. I don't want to do it to look at seagulls.
The worlds of crewed and solo racing have come together for the first time in this unique double-handed race. Sailors from 7 nations across the globe, going head-to-head in one non-stop, relentless lap of the planet. Barcelona, 3 months and a world away as the fleet powers through the Mediterranean. Delta d'Or, the all-French entry. Jeremy Bayou and the gentle family man Sidney Gavinier, who's about to adopt a new personality.
I'm more or less going for a fight and for a war.
Estrella Damm, fiery Spaniard Guillermo Altadil, and super rational American gold medalist Jonathan McKee.
It's going to be a lot of breaking things and a lot of problems because it's a long race.
Ireland's Damien Foxall and France's Jean-Pierre Dick on Paprec Virbac 2 for the wildcards.
I don't think anyone out there can say they expect to win.
On board Viola Environment, France's Roland Jourdain and Jean-Luc Nelias, friends for nearly 30 years.
We go in something we don't know in this race. Many only cosmonauts or people who go in the space did that.
Switzerland's Dominic Varve and France's Michel Paré on board Temenos have been partners for over 10 years.
I am a competitive girl. I love the adventure and I love sailing. For all these reasons, I like to do this race.
Spain's Javier Sanso and Pachi Rivera on Mutua Madrilena are the only all-Spanish team in the race and sail away with thousands cheering them on their way.
I think a race like this, you cannot have second thoughts, huh? You have to want to do it 100%.
Educación Sin Fronteras is the oldest boat in the fleet, the underdogs, skippered by Spain's Albert Barguet, and with the youngest sailor in the race, 26-year-old Savannah Scoffier from France, on her first lap of the planet.
Sometimes I'm scared about going because I didn't do it before.
2 hours after the start, the spectator fleet starts to slip away. The moment when loved ones reluctantly turn their backs on each other.
Just a few words to my girls, Shed, Tarajun and Caroline. You're my love. And don't worry, this time apart will go quickly.
Voilà.
The Barcelona World Race had begun. The first night, and it's the island of Ibiza, not in motion, that's torn the fleet apart. The teams that sailed closest to the Spanish mainland have run out of wind and almost stopped. The first tactical decision of the race, and they've got it wrong. Morning brought some horrible truths.
Welcome on board Delta d'Or. The Mediterranean has not been too kind to us. The guys who went through the middle of the island got all the wind. They were doing 9 knots, while we only managed 3. The start of this race has not been too kind to us. It's only just begun, but we have already lost 100 miles on the leader. It's frustrating and I'm pretty fed up, but there's a long way to go.
Via latest satellite technology at Race HQ in Barcelona, a smiling Jonathan McKee confirms that Estrella Damm had made the right call.
Tell us a little bit about the decision when you came to Ibiza to decide whether to go closer to shore or around the outside.
Yeah, that was a pretty tricky one for sure. It was sort of the least worst of the two options, it seemed to us. And there was a couple other boats that were with us, so that mitigated the risk somewhat.
Close to the coast, the situation on board Delta d'Or has not improved. By the end of the day, Jeremy's feeling the strain.
Qu'est-ce que tu veux que je te dise?
What can I say? There's Viola and nobody else out here. Who would be stupid enough to get into this mess? How will we ever get out of this?
During the second night, the front runners PRB and Paprec Virbac skillfully pull away from the others. The race has already seen teams make wrong decisions, which could put huge strain on relationships. On board Paprec Virbac, they're well aware of those risks.
It's all about communication, and in any sort of relationship, when there's a misunderstanding or a disagreement, quite often the root of it is bad communication.
Co-skipper Damien Foxall has a wealth of experience. He's raced around the world 6 times, but this is the first time he's doing it as a father.
I've got a beautiful wife who I love very much, and yeah, we've just had a little boy, so yeah, my life has changed. I'm still sailing offshore. I'm very, very lucky to still be able to do that.
I'm not sure it's going to change the way I'll sail, apart from maybe, you know, maybe just being a little bit more careful. I've got nothing to prove. I just want to, you know, go out there and have a great race, come back with Jean-Pierre, really good friends, and win the race.
Helping Damien realise his dream is skipper Jean-Pierre Dick. The former veterinary surgeon only became a professional sailor 6 years ago, but in that time he's won 2 transatlantics and raced around the world.
I think this friendship between the skippers is a key success factor of this race. If you are not able to discuss with your co-skipper and have a constructive discussion, that's a problem.
Paprec Virbac are chasing PRB. The team that led from the start are still ahead, just. As the 2 lead boats engage in a battle off the Spanish town of Malaga, PRB hits like wind. They lose the advantage and Paprec Virbac charge past towards the Straits of Gibraltar. At 2:30 in the morning on day 5, Paprec Virbac leads PRB through. There's nothing between them as they navigate the world's busiest shipping channel with almost 0 visibility. They're out of the Med and into the Atlantic. On Estrella Dam, lying in 3rd, the American co-skipper is reeling from a tough night.
It's Jonathan here. I don't know if you can see me or hear me. Hopefully you can. Day 4 is just about dawning, as you can see behind me. We're about 7 miles from the Gibraltar gate. Pretty tough night last night, both personally and sailing-wise. Certainly the most testing conditions we've seen so far in the race. Wasn't really feeling my best last night either. So all that added up to a bit of a tough night, but you're going to have those, I suppose.
2 teams are into the Atlantic, the rest fighting to escape the Mediterranean. In a week that's seen an emotional departure from Barcelona for every team, Paprec Virbac are the one team with their nose out front.
We had the opportunity to pass PRB. We succeed to take the lead thanks to this Malaga battle. We keep the lead up to Gibraltar, where the night has been exhausting. In the morning we see the ropes that were really intricate like a spaghetti. Now we are in the Atlantic and happy to be here, but it's rather a question mark who is going to win this new battle. After the Malaga battle, the Atlantic battle is going to take place, yes.
Next time in the Barcelona World Race, the teams head south, through the tropics, across the equator, and the race moves up a gear. A world speed record will be set, and the jaws of the Southern Ocean will consume 2 of the teams.